Hey, Trip Kramer here from TripAdvice.com, and welcome back to the Talking to Girls 101 series, where I'm putting out a lot of information on how to have great conversation with girls and get them attracted to you. Now, this is sort of some basic stuff, but still good reminders for people. If you want to take it to the more advanced level and get to that next level, check my program called Hooked. I'm going to put a link in the description below, along with some other links related to this topic of talking to girls. Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking about how to talk forever, how to continue conversation. I know this is a big one. A lot of guys have problems with this. So I want to give you some good tips today and some homework that you can do that is super powerful when trying to continue a conversation. And the best part about it is you can use this stuff to talk to anyone. This is not just pertaining to girls, but anything in your life, talking to friends, making new friends, networking, trying to impress your boss, whatever it is, this is going to help. Let's get into it. Here's the basic idea, and if you've been with me for many years, you know I talk about this all the time, but this is basically it. This is conversation. Conversation's always broken up into two parts, okay? Part one over here, which is asking questions, and part B is making statements, okay? Now, it doesn't matter which one comes first, but that's what conversation is on your end and the other person's end. Meaning, you are always either asking a question or making a statement, okay? Depending on what the topic is, whatever it's about. But that's what you're doing. And that's what you have to recognize here. You have to have an awareness that this is what conversation is all about. So then you can tap into that and be able to continue it. Most people think, or at least if you're not thinking about it, you're doing this. A lot of guys will go in a conversation with a girl or anyone and just ask questions. That's all they'll do because they don't know what else to say and they're just used to asking questions. And that's the easy thing. Oh, ask questions, let them talk. But then it becomes a one-sided conversation and makes it hard to attract a girl or get anyone interested in you because they don't get to know you. So the goal really is to balance out questions and statements throughout the conversation so it continues. So here's the awareness part. You need to be aware that throughout the conversation, try to make as many statements as possible. Try to inject a story where it relates when something comes up in conversation, but really practice what I call active listening. You need to listen to the person that you're talking to, so then you can listen to what they're saying, and from whatever topic that they're talking about, you can go ahead and then move forward with a statement or a question, preferably a statement, so again, they get to know you. Here's an example. A couple of videos ago, I talked about the topics of conversation that women love. One of them was the topic of signs, right? Your astrological sign, Aries, Leo, Pisces, and all that good stuff. So if you're talking to a girl and you do ask a question, you ask her, what's your sign? And she says, oh, I'm a Leo, okay? You have two options at this point. You can say, oh, what's a Leo like? Or what are the traits of a Leo? Or, you know, are your friends Leos? Or whatever it is. Instead, you can say a statement instead of asking a question. So what I would do is say, oh, wow, a Leo. I know nothing about a Leo, but let me guess, a Leo is probably very fierce. Okay, you can just make it up on the spot. Or maybe you actually do know what a Leo is like. Then you say, oh, I know what a Leo is like. You're like this, and you're like this, and you like to do these things, and et cetera, et cetera. The whole point here is you're taking it and you're, instead of asking a question, making the statement to continue and then getting her to ask a question or a statement from what you're saying. Of course, at the end of the day, if they're not talking, then, you know, you got to ask a question to make sure it continues. And that's kind of what you're left at that point. But that's the last straw, is asking a question if she doesn't add more to the conversation. But that's how we're tying all these in together, which is why you should be watching all these different episodes on talking to girls, because if you're doing the topics of conversation that she likes to talk about, it's going to be easier for her to continue talking about that topic because she's interested in it. Plus, if you have something somewhat interesting to say, and no, it doesn't have to be mind-blowing, but you have a statement that you have to say about something, that gives her ammo to be able to continue and ask you a question if it's something that she wants to continue talking about. I'm going to put another video down below in the description about curiosity. I talk about this on my channel and in my program Hooked about bringing out your curious side, okay? This really helps when you're in conversation. When you're curious about someone, you actually want to know about who they are and why they do what they do and what their life is like. Well, try to access that part because that helps continue the conversation. I know that contradicts what I said before. Like at the trip, I thought you said don't try to ask a lot of questions. Well, you don't, but at least you're going to be asking more interesting questions when you're more curious about what it is that they're doing with their life, or what they like, or whatever it is that you guys are on a topic of conversation about. Here's a great example of that could be relevant to, let's say, if you're at a bar. I'm not saying copy this question, although you can use it if you want to, but this is the type of questions and thinking you should be thinking about when you're getting curious with a girl. What if you said something like, what is it about drinking tequila that people love? Tequila seems to be so popular. What is it about tequila that you think people love so much? Okay, that's just a curious question. And that's not necessarily even about her. That's just about any kind of topic that's going on, or something on your mind, or something that kind of sparks interest as you're talking to her, and as someone's walking by with a tequila shot. Like, what is it about tequila that people like so much? And you're asking her, right? So this is the type of questions and curiosity that you can be asking. And I will be doing another video completely on questions, so we'll dive even deeper into that. I have some homework for you that I wrote down on my phone here, and I'm gonna be telling you how you can practice this and be really good at conversation. Okay, a lot of guys, they don't have a lot of practice talking and making statements. They're just really used to asking questions. So here's your homework. Pick a topic, any topic you want, even a topic that you really like to talk about, anything that you're interested in, anything that you're doing. Talk about it in the mirror for 5 minutes. Take your phone, put a timer on for 5 minutes, and talk about it. And do not stop talking about it until the 5 minutes is over. This is going to be hard, but if you do this every day for a month, this is going to train you to be able to talk and talk and talk and talk without having to have a lull in conversation and have someone or have the conversation just go completely dead, and then you have to sit there and ask another question. So do that as homework and report back and tell us in the comments what it's like. Here's some extra homework for you. I know this video is getting kind of long at this point, but here's some extra homework. This is really cool. I think you're gonna like this. Make a habit of reading the news, or even going to the site Reddit, okay? Reddit.com, REDDIT.com. Go there, and there's a ton of interesting stuff on there, right? Everything. There's news on there. There's any topic that you might be interested in. There's a subreddit on there, or they just have the most top upvoted posts of the day or the week or of all time, and start reading that stuff. Take 20 minutes a day and just go through all those things. This is gonna give you a knowledge base in your head, so you're gonna have more things that you're gonna wanna talk about when you are with the girl. You're gonna have a lot of things that you're gonna be more curious about, things that you can bring up. Very powerful stuff. If you do that homework, both homeworks, for the next 30 days, your conversation will definitely get to the next level. So go and do that. Don't forget to also check out the Hooked program in the description below. That takes all this to an even deeper level, and I'll see you on the next video.